So we are coming to the fifth academic session. We are pleased to have amongst us, pleased to inform you that Dr. K. Subramaniam, who is the Pro Vice Chancellor of Svfs Yoga University, which is also connected with the name Vivekananda, and Dr. Kalyan Rudra, Chairman of the West Bengal Wasteland Development Corporation. So without wasting any further time, I would request Dr. K. Subramaniam to present his talk on love, the basis of human culture.
Vande Simpumumapatim Suragurum Vande Jagatkaranam Vande Pannagabhushanam Shashidharam Vande Pasunam Patim Vande Surya Shashanka Vanninayanam Vande Mukunda Priyam Vande Bhaktajana Ashrayam Chavaradam Vande Bhaktajana Ashrayam Chavaradam Vande Shivam Shankaram. Most revered monks, Matajis and esteemed friends, Mike has come to me at 3:20 and I am to stand here for 30 minutes. That means I go up to 350. Recently, about 2 months ago, I was in a country which is supposed to be highly civilized. I was asked to speak, and in front of us there was a digital watch. The time allotted to me there was 30 minutes or 20 minutes, and after the introduction they have set the time as we have the road signal digital time. The time gets reduced, 29 minutes more, 28 minutes, 27, 26, 25, and just 1 minute before it will be flickering. Fellow, stop it. Fellow, stop it. And after the last minute there will be 0. There will be 30 grace seconds to wind up. After that, if I continue, mic gets automatically switched off. And the country is a civilized country. In India, we don't have that civilization, but still we abide by time. There the civilization is electronic, cruel, heartless. Here, there is no cruelty. The speakers are very concerned about the audience. We don't want to tax them. And the listeners also are very, very considerate. They just put up with a few minutes extra. There is a culture, mutual understanding, mutual love. Love is the basis of culture. India is a cultured land. And a cultured land puts up with everything. A cultured person bears everything. A cultured person adjusts to the unfavorable environment. And we thrive. We continue to live very, very happily, very peacefully, very cheerfully. Swami Vivekananda says, at the root of everything is love. Even strength has its roots in love. The triangle of love knows no fear, knows no rivalry, knows no possession. Love is at the root of strength. This tree of life on earth has its roots in love. And the fruit of this life is culture. At the root we have love, and as a fruit we have culture, and this love through the process has a spirituality. And that spirituality plus love, it will blossom in spiritual culture, global, universal culture, all embracing, all consuming, harmonious coexistence. It's a beautiful instance in the Mahabharata which has relevance to Swami Vivekananda's life. Love is at the root, culture is the fruit. Well, we are all aware of the wonderful episode in the Mahabharata where Shishupala questions the audacity of Yudhishthira in giving the first honor to Krishna. After the Rajsuyaga was performed, at the end, the guests were being honored. The chief guest was Sri Krishna, he was being honored. And this Shishupala young man comes up and asks, how is it you honor this particular man? Is he the senior most? Is he the richest? Is he the king? Is he the wisest? On what basis do you select this Krishna to be honored first? And Yudhishthira has to give the reply. He is a cultured person, therefore he is obliged to give the reply to the most foolish question as well. And Yudhishthira says, my dear Shishupala, this Krishna deserves the first honor because he is the most cultured person. Do you mean to say he is more cultured than Bhishma? Do you mean to say that he is more cultured than Drona, etc., etc.? What do you mean by culture? Next is Shishupala's question. And Yudhishthira gives the reply, a cultured person is a loving person. What do you mean? Do you mean to say that we don't have love? Certainly you don't have love. Do you mean to say that Krishna's love is to elope with girls? They are willing to love him. Nobody is willing to love you, you useless fellow. You, Shishupala, you may love them. It's not love. They are not willing to fall in love with you. All the 16,000 women are enamored of Krishna, fascinated by Krishna. They are fond of Krishna. They love Krishna. They reciprocate Krishna. He is a loving person. Do you mean to say that love? Not only that. When we wanted to perform this Rajasuyagnya, when Swamijis of this Ramakrishna order wanted to perform this particular 2-day Jnana Yajna, they must have drawn a plan. Who is to be in charge of the accommodation, who is to be in charge of the guests, who is to be in charge of the programs, etc. Any program has to be planned sufficiently. Yudhishthira, as the president of the organization committee, convened a meeting of all the brothers, 100 Kauravas and 4 more Pandavas, and Krishna was also present. 106 people have formed the committee to check out the program. And he asked them to take the voluntary responsibility. Bhima took the responsibility of maintaining the kitchen, to be in charge of the kitchen. Arjuna took the responsibility of looking after the guests' accommodation. And Duryodhana took the responsibility of registering the gifts which the guests bring. All the brothers took the responsibilities. And Yudhishthira, as the president of the organizing committee, was ticking. And one was left. My dear brothers, there is one most important responsibility left out that nobody has volunteered to take up. What's it? As per our scriptures, as per our traditions, as per our cultural heritage, Atidhi Devo Bhava. This Rajasuyagnya is going to get so many people as guests who will receive them. There is a clear-cut tradition in our country. When the car comes, the person from the host's family, an important person, should go there, open the door, the footwear will be left, and a plate will be kept at the under the feet of the guest. You have to wash, sprinkle that water on your head, put a red carpet, welcome him, receive him, show him the place of accommodation, all those things who is prepared to do. Atidhi Devo Bhava is the cultural flower of this country. And Bhima says, so many useless fellows will be coming. I am the mightiest man with a mace. Who will fall at the feet of these people? I won't do it. Arjuna said, Arjuna Palguna Partha Kiriti Bhivatsa Dhananjaya Savyasachi. Such 100 titles I have, MPhil, PhD, DSc, DLit, Vice President, President, Secretary. Who am I? I shall not fall at the feet of everybody. No, I won't do it. And then Duryodhana said, sometimes I feel ashamed to touch the feet of even my grandfather Bhishma. I won't do it. Remember, it was Krishna who stood up and said, I shall do it. All the thousands and thousands of guests that came to attend Rajasuya Yajna were touched, feet were washed by Sri Krishna. And Yudhishthira narrates this incident, tells Sisupala, he who loves all deserves to be loved by all. He who serves all deserves to be served by all. He who dedicates his all for the welfare of humanity deserves to be worshipped by all. India is Jagadguru, Lokaguru, not by preaching but by practice. Sri Krishna is a cultural flower of this country. He has given up his, and therefore he deserves to be worshipped. By the way, Mr. Bhima, you say you are in charge of the kitchen. How do you make the preparations? Yudhishthira asks. He says, I shall have all Gujarati sweets, Bengali sweets, all types of sweets and hearts prepared. Hundreds and thousands of people will be asked to sit, and I will keep the servants to serve them. I shall stand with the mace amidst them. You fellows, you eat every one of you 100 laddus, 50 gulab jams. If you don't eat, I will break your head. Yudhishthira said, my dear, that is not the culture of this country, love of this country, hospitality of this country. And what do you do at the end after they all eat? I shall employ servants to remove all the leaves. Then Yudhishthira says, no, it's not the culture of this country. There should be love, love to serve, and love at the time of cleaning. Also, Holy Mother Shri Sharada Devi served the so-called untouchable. It was she who removed the leaf. And Sri Krishna took upon himself the responsibility of serving all the people, and he took upon the responsibility of removing the leaves which were used for their eating purposes, a cultural flower of this country, by practice, not by preaching. And this Yudhishthira narrates in the Mahabharata what is culture of this country. It is the basic essential love. And this love goes on expanding, expanding, expanding. With the center at one place, the circumference gets enlarged, enlarged, enlarged. Swami Vivekananda initially had a few brothers and sisters, biological brothers and biological sisters. When he was the son of Mother Bhuvaneshwari Devi, his brothers and sisters were limited to the blood relation. As he went to the holy order, when he was taken as the son of Holy Mother Shri Sharada Devi, the spiritual brothers and sisters increased in number. Bhavatarini asked him to come out of the four walls, and he, as Parivrajaka, moved from Kolkata to Kanyakumari, all over the land. When he was walking, he found every Indian to be his brother or sister. Expansion, expansion. And Kanyakumari directed him to go to the west. While he was traveling from Bombay Harbor to Chicago, 31st of May he left, 31st of July he reached Chicago. During those 2 months, he found every fellow traveler to be his brother. And the 11th of September 1893, when he looked at the audience in that great Columbus Hall, this expansion reached its maximum. He found everybody sitting in front of him to be a brother or sister. Expansion of culture, globalization of culture, universalism of culture. He was the son of Bhuvaneshwari Devi. He was the son of Sharada Devi. He was the son of Bhavatarini. He was the son of Bharata Mata. He was the son of Kanyakumari. And finally he became the son of Vishwamata, cosmic mother, and everybody was his brother or sister. And that expanded cultural explosion took a shape in the word, in the wonderful phrase, sisters and brothers of America. There Sri Krishna served everybody. Everybody was considered to be a guest. And here Swami Vivekananda is a replica. Now, when it expands, there are two types of expansion. One, the center is at the one place. The circumference only gets enlarged. That's natural. It's my family. It's my village. It's my town. It's my district. It's my country. It's my world. My is the same. That does not change. The circumference only gets expanded. It is a natural expansion. That's not sufficient. There should be the movement of the center as well. Center should be everywhere, and circumference also should be everywhere. When the center and the circumference go on increasing, then it is a spiritual dimension. That we will see how it is. Yesterday, Swamiji was very kind enough to send me to that ancestral house of Swami Vivekananda. There I found a beautiful painting. A 7-year-old boy, Narendranath, was rushing to save a small baby from the middle of the road before it should not be crushed under the feet of the horse. What made him? What prompted him? It's not sympathy. Most people have sympathy. We pity them. We sympathize with them. And Swami Vivekananda had empathy. He placed himself in the position of the child. He rushed to the child. Love has the capacity not only to sympathize, but to be a person of empathy. A loving mother sitting in India knows the son in America is sick. She places herself in the position of the son. And we find Sri Krishna, when he was in the Gurukul of Sandipani, his teacher's wife was a little sorrowful. She was gloomy. Sri Krishna observed the Guru Patni, and he was able to understand something was wrong with her. He placed himself in the heart of that lady, and that heart was throbbing. That heart was shivering. That heart was weeping for the dead child who died several years ago. Sri Krishna placed himself in the heart of that lady, rushed to Yamaloka, brought the dead boy back to the country. Indians are capable of placing themselves in the hearts of others. We never insulted the foreigner. On the other hand, we received them, we welcomed them, we assimilated them. Swamiji's first talk speaks of the wonderful love that Indians have. This love has a dual expansion. One through empathy, another through sympathy. Sympathy is centered at one place, circumference gets extended to infinity. When it is empathy, you place yourself in a particular position. Recently, a small example in Hyderabad. There was a street phone man. It is the street shop, people will pay 1 or 2 rupees, they will make a phone call. A person was talking to another person, why is it you are sitting in darkness, the light in front of your shop is not bright, it is not working. And he felt sorry. And repeatedly he made a phone call to the electrical department. Sir, in such and such a street, such and such a lamp post, the light is not functioning, and unable to receive repeated phone calls from the street phone fellow, the electricity department rushed and they changed and the new bulb was fixed. The officer came and thanked that, but thank you very much for having given the information. Just as encouragement, he gave him 5 rupees he was unable to take. You are a blind man. Yes, sir. Then why did you make a call that the light is not functioning? I know how difficult it is to live in darkness. I place myself in the position of others and I find the inconvenience caused, and therefore I have made the phone call. Swami Vivekananda says, man should become a better man. Christian, a better Christian, a Muslim, a better Muslim, a teacher, a better teacher. What does he mean? If only a teacher can place himself in the hearts of the students, he will make his subject simple, does not make his complex. If only the teacher can sit in the hearts of the students, he will not bore them. He will enlighten them, he will create wonderful stories. What a great genius is Vyasa Maharshi. For the genius he has given Brahma Sutras. For the others, most intelligent, he has compiled the Upanishads. And a little more intelligent, but not average, for them he has given Bhagavad Gita, Sarvopanishado Gavo Doktha Gopalanandana. And for the benefit of those people who are just average, he has given the wonderful illustration Mahabharata. And for those who are still less average, he has given Ashtadasha Puranas, wonderful stories. And finally, he has given the Kriyas. As an intelligent, loving teacher writes the character of a Portia on the blackboard. My dear students, what the brightest student would get as the first mark, you will also get if you memorize this with full stops, commas, etc. The temple worship. It is very simple. You need not know it at all. Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda school of thought is so wonderful. It has been able to understand the need of every person. It has been able to enter into every heart and know their needs. The most powerful scientists like Einstein were able to admire them. Subtle sentences, scientific sentences. Every expression of Swami Vivekananda is most scientific. Einstein would explain it, enjoy it. Every sentence of it is highly religious. Preachers would appreciate it. Every sentence of Swami Vivekananda is applicable to an ordinary student. He will admire it. The greatness of Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda school of thought is cultural in the sense they place themselves in the hearts of everybody. And this expansion, both in intensity and extensity, is aimed at by this wonderful culture fruit. This culture, in contrast to civilization, is to be understood. Civilization, according to Swami Vivekananda, it is also the same thing. It's like a monkey or a donkey well dressed in the wonderful ornaments. It's the base metal rolled in powder of gold. Culture is inner. The conquest of the internal nature is culture. The conquest of the external nature is a civilization. Civilized people may not be cultured. Cultured people can be civilized. We have the 3 wonderful kingdoms in the Ramayana. Ayodhya, people are both cultured and civilized. Kishkinda, they are neither civilized nor cultured. In Sri Lanka, everybody is civilized, but they are not cultured. Exceptions to the rule. In Ayodhya, you have two exceptions, Mandara and Kaikeyi are not cultured. In Kishkinda, two exceptions, Hanuman and Tara are highly cultured. And in Sri Lanka, there are two exceptions, Vibhishana and Trijata are highly cultured. Culture is internal conquest. The first person to deceive in the garb of a sadhu is Ravana. He has this civic garb. How do you do? Is a civilization. You go and serve him is a culture. If you wait for the answer, you get a negative reply. How do you do? My heart aches, my headache, my head is reeling. This will be the replies. I am not prepared to help him. How do you do? Good morning, and he will be walking away. And that is civilization. External conquest is civilization. Swami Vivekananda is not for civilization alone. Swamiji has beautifully analyzed how Greek civilization and Roman civilization have fallen. Hindu civilization continues to be bright on account of its internal conquest, the cultural heritage of this country. And this is to be propagated among the students by giving them the national pride. Classical music, classical literature, wonderful things are available. Now I have my time up. I have a paper of about 10 pages. In these 10 pages, Swamiji has asked me, it is a thematic paper. It's not merely for talking. You please try to do something. The first paragraph I have given the principle. In the second paragraph I elaborated it. And in the third paragraph, how to implement it. There are 5 points I have taken up, and all those 5 points have been presented in a thematic way. Since I have given the gist, India is a land of spirituality, India is a land of culture, on account of its intrinsic love, and it has expanded infinitely, not only in circumference. Because of its empathy, it is able to place itself in the hearts of others, and from there gets multiplied. Every professional has to develop this culture. Every officer then will become a better officer. While signing and sitting in the AC room, it's not a mere signature on the paper. It affects the life of a family. When a person is transferred, when a person is punished, when a person is put to trouble, it is not a mere signature, reckless, indifferent signature. I must be in a position to see the heart of the recipient, and that is a culture. India is a land of culture. This is a center of culture. Sri Ramakrishna, center of culture. Let us all be in the footprints of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, Holy Mother, thinking. Let us try to flower as cultured beings. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
For your wonderful exposition. 2 key ideas he very nicely expressed. That the need for strength in love has its root in strength. That's an idea which Swamiji explains in his triangle of love in Bhakti Yoga. And heart as the primary mover of the universe, he explained through wonderful examples from the Ramayana, the Krishna Shishupala incident, and Holy Mother Sharda Devi's examples. And so this Swami Vivekananda used to emphasize again and again that love is the prime mover of the universe, and there is no such thing as right and justice. One famous quotation of his: the universe is run only by might and mercy. It's either might or mercy, and that has as its basis love. So now I would request Dr. Kalyan Rudra, the chairman of West Bengal Wasteland Development Corporation, to speak on a similar topic based on love, that is man-nature relationship for future survival of humanity. Dr. Kalyan Rudra.
Respected, respected Swamijis and Matajis and distinguished delegates. I am really in a very difficult position, distinctly for two reasons. One is from my long teaching experience, I know how difficult it is to deliver a lecture at the end of the day. Second reason is more important. My predecessor, sir, you batted like Virat Kohli scoring century in 50 balls. Background of myself being here, I would like to share first. I delivered a lecture in Belur Mott a few days back while Atta Priyamanandaji, Vice Chancellor himself, was chairing. And he requested me to deliver a lecture here. And initially I was hesitant, and he sent me a note through email what I should talk here. And like a fool I agreed. And exactly I will take